Welcome, my beautiful air signs. This is a special reading for you. This is what your guides want you to know right now. We're reading through our spirit guides. This is where I just use the cards as a tool to really ignite my intuition. But what do you need to know? Though I do feel like at the same time, like a reading will find you at the right time. You'll find a reading at the right time. So even though it feels like, these messages need to come out now, some of you, well, let's put it this way, you could get a message that may not make sense at this moment. And then 2 weeks down the road, like something happens and you're like, oh, I remember that in the reading. So keep them in your back pocket. So we are doing Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, all placements, so don't worry about that. Some of you are just intuitively guided, and that's totally fine. You may have one of those signs somewhere in your, you know, in your planetary house. It could be sun, moon, rising, again, one of your houses, whatever it may be. Just trust in your own intuition. All right, so what we're going to use is the same decks that I used for every other sign because I am looking for synchronicities that they are shuffled quite well. And we're going to go ahead and get started. And we're going to start with Gemini. Each sign, by the way, is going to get a Mother Mary card. But let's go ahead and start with Gemini. I have a Gemini moon. So I understand Gemini. And then I have a Virgo sun. So I have a lot of Mercury. Lots of Mercury. All right, but let's begin. Gemini. Gemini. Just want to calm my mind. Gemini. All right. Whoa, that's the first time one of Mother Mary's cards fell off the table. And actually, you have two. Let's set these aside. You have Be Strong. I pull myself up and do what needs to be done. Pull myself up and I do what needs to be done. And then we have Health. Very, very seldom get this card. Health. My prayers for healing miracles have been heard and answered. My prayers for healing miracles have been heard and answered. Some of you may be like, well, I don't feel like they've been answered. They could be answered in different ways, or that answer may be coming to you. Like, have a clear mind so that you can receive whatever signs that want to reach you, because that's what it kind of feels like. Like there's going to be some action required, but don't fear that action because it's only going to bring you, again, an answered prayer. All right, we're going to put those over there. I'm going to bring the lid down. And I don't want it that far. I'm like a little light in the background. Okay. Gemini, I am going to use the Psychic Tarot for you. Again, all pre-shuffled. And I spent quite a bit of time shuffling. And there's a certain card that kept ending up at the bottom that wanted me to see it. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I want to see if it comes out. If it comes out, I'll let you know. But just kept repeating itself, so we'll see. All right, beautiful Geminis. We are doing full spreads, by the way, so each reading is going to take a little while. Have patience. I have a feeling temperance is going to come out. Like, have patience, my dear. Again, these will be time stamped. All right, Gemini. We have the Hierophant, number 5, and then we have the Tower. Interesting. You have Wisdom, and disruption. It's almost like your wisdom has been disrupted. It's like your faith has been shaken, shookened. Let's see what's going on here. Two major arcanas, by the way. I don't know if I said the Hierophant is the card of Taurus. Some of you may want to know that. It's your neighbor to the south, trapped in fear, Gemini. It's interesting because I was going to say one of the things that we have to be careful of is that we don't get in our heads too much. Like these towers, they happen and they can feel like very, very, like they can feel like destruction. But this is about bouncing back from it. I'm saying bouncing back. I feel like it's more about understanding because this feels universal. It's almost like we had to send in the tower to help you free yourself, help you gain your faith back. Something, something has again shaken your faith and caused you to, well, create this prison. Interesting, we have a five, which speaks about change, and then eight, which is about a new beginning, and the tower in between. So this tower, it probably forced some type of change. But in the same time, I feel like if it helped you to move out of this self-created prison, how can that be a bad thing? All right, let's keep going. We have solitude. We have new beginnings. So there you go. It's like that's why I didn't fear the tower too much, even though I don't like seeing the self created prison. I feel like, I often feel like no time, even dark time, is wasted time because there's always something to learn, to gain from it. The energy of the hermit sitting next to the Eight of Swords. There's no way these two are going to coexist, right? If anything, the hermit's going to analyze this Eight of Swords, try to figure out, well, definitely the tower seems to have caused it, but then you get the Fool, right? A new beginning under faith, under wisdom. Um, Fool is about taking a leap of faith. So it makes sense that the Hermit would come out, especially mirrored by the Hierophant, wisdom. So I feel like any time that was been spent alone, even if it's something difficult that puts you in that Eight of Swords, I feel like you're going to figure that out. And it's one of those type of energies where I feel like there will come a day when we are going to thank the universe for that tower because it is moving you out of some type of difficult energy. You're moving yourself out of it. It's helping you. All right, let's keep going. So we have the Fool asking us to take a leap of faith. We have the Magician. How interesting because the Magician is the Fool's greatest teacher. This feels like you're starting a new path. And Fool, again, is like, I'm going to take a leap of faith. I'm going to put the past behind me. I'm going to understand. First of all, I feel like I'm understanding the past here. But then I'm closing the door to it. Remember, when you see a nine, it does talk about reflection, but it's about final reflection. Like, reflect upon it, learn what I can learn, and then move out of it because there's so much more left. There's another adventure that wants to begin. So I feel like that was, that's what the tower caused. But now we look at the Fool, and the Fool meets the Magician. So the first mentor, let's say, along this new path. And the Magician is teaching the Fool that as you move along this new path, you have all the tools that you need, you carry them within you to really be successful. Doesn't mean there won't be challenges, but that's what the magician is teaching the fool. Like, you already have the tools to overcome any challenges. Don't get stuck in them. By the way, who's the next person the fool meets? The high priestess. And the high priestess is teaching the fool, I'm here as your GPS. I'm here to guide you. Listen to your intuition. Listen to your intuition. All right, let's keep going. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Beautiful. How can that be bad? 2 ones, by the way. And then we have mental conflict, but it came in reverse. That's the Two of Swords. Two Swords is where I'm wearing a blindfold. Something I don't want to face. And I don't want to face it because it's fearful in some way. But sometimes it's illusionary also. Two Swords can block the next opportunity if I don't look at that. But I love that it came in reverse because I feel like, first of all, you're gaining some real spiritual wisdom that's allowing you to, uncreate this prison. First and foremost, I would say that's probably the most important thing. I need to uncreate this prison, and that means I need to learn to trust my energy versus creating walls and barriers around me. I'm sure you've had, plenty of reasons why to create. It feels like, again, like I'm trying so hard to protect myself. But what I'm really doing in that energy is I'm kind of blocking what wants to come next. So the tower feels like a clear end. And because that tower did, it just feels like it didn't feel good. I mean, um, it feels like it did happen to you. Like, a lot of times I feel like we're giving someone else the tower, but I do feel like it happened to you because that's what moves you into that Eight of Swords energy. But then the Hermit's energy next. So, I got to reflect upon this and then I've got to move out of it. And I feel like as soon as you do that, look at this. The Ace of Pentacles arrives. Well, the Ace of Pentacles, well, what does it say? Prosperity begins. Sometimes I feel this, I've been feeling this a lot for these readings. Sometimes our experiences, especially our difficult experiences, our purpose is then to, as we have learned to overcome them, is to help others to overcome those experiences. I feel like God uses our life as, as a helping hand to others. First, help ourselves, right? I got to free myself. As soon as I free myself, prosperity begins. So it feels like some type of opportunity that's coming in. I feel like I feel like you're saying yes because of the Two Swords being in reverse. So I feel like this top line is the energy that needs to be cleared. And then this line is the energy of what's now coming in. All right, let's keep going. I mean, other than the top line, and really it's just the tower and the self-created prison. Other than those two, everything looks really good. But, you know, that Eight of Swords is probably the hardest thing to uncreate. But you are the only one who can uncreate it. Whoever creates it, has to uncreate it. Your guides can try to reach you. All right, destiny, the wheel, under the fold. Look at this, the Ace of Swords, 2 aces already. The sun. The sun will come out tomorrow. And then interesting, the Seven of Cups. So it's like you have all these aces. Sun, card of Leo, by the way, but it speaks about illumination. It's mirroring the energy trapped in fear, the Eight of Swords. So, I do feel like you're freeing yourself from that. I do feel like you're going to accept this ace. And don't forget, the Ace of Pentacles means that something is coming into your physical world. It's meant to change your world, but it's meant to expand it. You don't have to say yes to it. And that's why I feel like the Seven of Cups is here. It is up to you. But it feels like it's being sent from above, so to speak. I feel like there may be a few of you who you may have like been waiting for someone to contact you and they didn't, or they don't, or they ghosted you, that type of energy. What I want you to think about in that energy is, even though that's hurtful, is that the type of person that you'd want to spend your life with anyways, if they could hurt you in that way? Now, I'm not saying, because I mean, what's that saying? We always hurt the ones we love. But the lack of communication, I feel, is a bit cruel. And I could see why it would hurt. Like, I totally see that. So, anyways, I feel like that is one thing for not everyone, for some. But, I love the sun under this Ace of Pentacles, because the Ace of Pentacles, I feel like, comes in as a seed. Like, it may come in as an epiphany. It's a seed that if you nurture it, it can expand tremendously. And the sun being right below it, right? Nurture it, water it. The sun's going to help it grow. Another thing I love about the sun is, if again I'm trapped in fear and the sun is here, it's saying that, anything done in the dark will come to the light, and you don't need to fear it, right? You don't need to fear. I feel like some of you are just saying, am I ready for the next step in my life? Now, I don't feel like you have like a lot of choice, because again, I do feel like the tower happened to you. But in the same breath, it takes you into the hermit's energy, and I never feel like that's a bad thing, especially when it's mirrored by wisdom. So, coming from the hermit's energy and then making a decision about a cup, about a choice. Seven of Cups can feel a little chaotic, but with the Two of Swords reversed above it, I love that. So I feel like this is you using your spirituality, using your spiritual wisdom to then decide. It's something that's sitting upon your wheel. It's interesting. It's not really clear yet exactly what it is, but there's something sitting upon your wheel. Your destiny. We know that these two aces, right? Prosperity begins, triumphant success, are coming in. We know that the sun is like illuminating these aces, so there's no way you're going to miss them. So don't worry about that. I feel like there's no way you're going to miss them. And if you do miss them, your guides will send them again. And if you miss them again, your guides will send them again. Bigger and bigger until you just can no longer miss them. All right, let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. We have firm foundation. And then we have the universe below that. Partnerships and alliances. So there may be a partnership or an alliance that, like, cut ties. And again, it feels like I took the brunt of the pain of it. It definitely moved into your head, though. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it moved from the heart to the head. So this is about firming up your foundation. You know, I feel like if our foundation isn't firm, then everything is a little hairy. You know what I mean? Like if I'm starting a relationship, but we're not thinking about that foundation, we're down the road, it's going to be easy for that relationship to tumble over. Same with a career, that type of thing. So thinking about your foundation first. Okay, let's use the Gilded Tarot. And let's go over this. I'm just looking people wise so far. I see Taurus, I see Virgo, I see Leo. It reminds me of Romper Room. I don't know why that's coming to my mind all of a sudden, but do you remember the girl? I mean, a lot of you aren't going to remember this, but she would have like, I think she'd have like a wheel, and then she'd be like, I see, and then she'd give names, and you always waited for your name to be called. She never called Sandy. Look at that. Look at that. I don't know if you just saw this, but it was like as I was trying to pick this up, this card was fighting with me. Guess what it is? The Two of Cups. And this is the card that just kept showing itself to me over and over again. So there it is, coming right over the Hierophant. Wisdom. Soulmates. If I read it this way, it looks a little difficult. If I read it this way, it looks quite beautiful. I feel like I got my turn my deck around. All right, let's keep going. The wheel. Look at that. The wheel coming right over the tower. Yeah, that definitely feels like the energy of coming back and eventually thanking this tower. You know, it may be moving you out of one relationship into another, but I feel like if it's moving you out of one relationship, I feel like you didn't get the energy you deserved. You know what I mean? Like I feel like someone could have just not been a great partner, you know, even if it went to partnership. Like I just feel because I feel like someone played a little bit of mind games with you, and Gemini does not like mind games. So I love the wheel coming over the tower. You know, it's a reminder also that even the difficult things in life are meant to happen. Why? Because our soul grows from those experiences. You know, it becomes like, you know, just think if you came here, and I'm sure there's some who come into this lifetime who are like, you know, easy peasy life, you know, no issues, everything comes to them, what have you. Well, you know, they may be like a life path one, but that means they have a lot of lives to go through. I feel like those who dealing with difficult situations, probably an old soul, which means to me that you are capable of handling these issues or you know these towers. Like you are able to rebound, but you do have to know that, right? You have to remember that again, a spiritual being having human experiences, not a human, right? I mean, I am human. I'm in a human body, but I'm really a spiritual being. Okay. Anyway, um, I don't know. I'm so happy the Two of Cups came out because I just had a feeling it would. Yeah, I just had a feeling. All right, we have the King of Cups coming over the Eight of Swords. Can be a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. It does not have to be, though. This king, it's interesting because today is my ex's birthday, my ex-husband, and he born on Halloween. And I always said how fitting. um, but for some reason, it's making me think of his energy and how difficult it was to be with him. Like how difficult. Um, hmm. All right, well, let's keep going. I don't want to give this king a bad rap yet, but he is coming over this Eight of Swords. We have the Hermit coming over the Hermit, like double Virgo, and then we have the Hangman. Interesting. Why? It's almost like you're not willing to take a leap of faith. At least not yet. Doesn't mean you won't, but I feel like at this moment, maybe you're not willing to take that leap of faith. The hangman is seeking wisdom, and I love that the fool's first mentor, the wisest teacher, is the first person that the fool meets. I wouldn't be surprised, like I feel like this soulmates up here is speaking about love, but I wouldn't be surprised if like soulmates, like you just come along soulmates, and I don't mean love. I mean love. It can be love, but I don't mean romantic love. I feel like the right people are put in place at the right time. Let's put it that way. All right. So the hangman seeking wisdom from the magician over the Six of Cups. Look at that. The Tower over the Ace of Pentacles. Queen of Wands over the reversal of the Two of Swords. And then the Ten of Wands. Okay. Certainly, some of you may be hearing communication back from someone. And maybe you've already received this communication. It's interesting because the Six of Cups really speaks about happy memories. Like this is me remembering someone or a time period with like heartfelt memories. But then the Tower comes out. I feel like this is more of your fear. It's almost like if I take this ace that's being offered, will the Tower just take it back away? I feel like the answer is no, but I get like asking the question. This Ten of Wands down here, this is where this talks about a period of time where, a lot of responsibilities are on your shoulders. But it is over the wheel, as is the Tower. So, something you may want to look at is, first of all, this could be a changing of time, like, where I did have a lot of heavy responsibilities upon my shoulders, and it does feel like it was too much. And I don't like, it's like I don't want it to continue. Now, some of you just been raising a family and, everything is evolving, and so you are evolving also. Queen of Wands over here can be a Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We do have Leo right there. But let's talk about this queen because she's in your reading, so I feel like this is you. This is a very intuitive queen. This queen moves according to her desires, her passions. If you stir my soul, chances are I'm going to move towards it. So it's interesting because we have the hangman over the fool again. And then we have this queen, but with the reversal of the Two of Swords. No blindfolds. So I feel like this is someone who is saying yes. Let's keep going. This is interesting. I can tell you this. I feel like whoever the soulmates are, um, it really feels meant to be. And I'm saying that just because of how many times it came out while I was shuffling your cards. We have the Devil, card of Capricorn. Devil can certainly cast illusions. We have the Four of Cups over the Sun. So the devil can certainly cast illusions, they feel very real. Um, but they're just that, they're an illusion. And I feel like this is talking about how the tower's coming over this Ace of Pentacles. Almost like, am I deemed just to repeat the tower? I feel like the answer is no, but I do feel like it does take your action at the same time because underneath it is the Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups talks about discontentment or boredom within your life. It's interesting because it's coming next to the Seven of Cups. So this is the energy of learning to trust your spiritual discernment as it relates to choosing anything that's coming your way. If you look at this image, this person is being handed a cup. And I've said it a million times. I feel like it's from the hand of God. And it's coming over the sun. So I really have nothing to fear here. This person is looking at the cup. Normally, you'll see this person looking at the three cups that have fallen over and not the cup that's being offered to him. But this person is looking at the cup. So I like that. So I feel like you are seeing it. I feel you're a little fearful of it, but you're still seeing it. And then we have the Fool again. Kind of showed in reverse. It's interesting because I don't love that the Fool is in reverse over the Seven of Cups. It's almost like you're saying no, and that is your prerogative. Oops, I feel like I didn't say that word right. Um, but it is up to you. So the Fool just may be saying, I'm not sure if I want to take this leap. But at the same time, I feel like your guides are saying, but you're discontent with what's going on in your life anyway. Why not take a chance? Well, because I don't want to end up with another tower. That's why there should be no blindfolds. That's why it's important to uncreate that prison. That's why it's important to see everything for what it truly is and not, don't cast illusions for yourself. Don't fear these towers. Because again, I feel like this tower, though it feels like it was difficult, I feel like it is moving you. It's like the wheel is out here twice. So it just feels like it's time. Maybe you haven't been lucky in love, but maybe that's about to change. Maybe you dealt with someone who just ghosted you. Well, the hell with them. This is not them. And let's say for some of you it is them. You know, I could see then why the Fool would be in reverse because I don't really want to give that person another chance. Because I feel like someone just cut off communication, and I feel the pain of that. Like not just the pain of that, but the anxiety and the why, and then the questioning oneself. But that's their deal. You know what I'm saying? Like that's who they are. And don't devalue yourself because of that. I have a feeling it's almost like that's what they want you to do, devalue yourself. Well, bullshit. Like I'm getting mad at them. All right. I'm going to look at a couple things. So we have the soulmates over the Hierophant. Certainly could be Taurus. But it speaks of wisdom in this deck. So it tells me that these soulmates are wise. It tells me that these soulmates have morals. You know what I mean? I remember many times I was like, damn these morals that I have. Like, why can't I just be free and like if I'm thinking of my ex, like, why can't I just cheat? Because it's not part of who I am. Okay, anyways, I forgot what we were saying. We're looking at the soulmates. It's sitting right next to the wheel. I mean, yeah, sitting next to the wheel. It's coming over the tower, and I have to say, I feel like maybe these soulmates, they're the right timing, again, is coming to fruition. So your guides are saying, sure. I was just going to say, your guides are saying, break yourself free from this prison. Allow yourself to be free. We have the Page of Swords. Actually, this page was in reverse. And then we have the Knight of Swords. Interesting. We have the Ace of Swords down here, so I definitely feel the Knight of Swords here. It's interesting because the Page of Swords is in reverse. So, there's where I feel was the lack of communication. And what did it cause? It caused the Eight of Swords. It's showing you, why that self-created prison was created in the first place. But now there's a knight that's coming in, and this knight is carrying this Ace of Swords. So don't be surprised, and it's coming over to Six of Cups. Don't be surprised if this tower is moving you out of something that wasn't working anyway and moving you into, when I think of the Six of Cups, again, it's like, if it's a person, it's someone that I have good memories about, and it just feels like, just kind of feels like meant to be. Again, doesn't guarantee that it will be, because if this self-created prison is not uncreated, then I don't know how it can be. All right, I'm going to look at the King of Cups with the Eight of Swords and the Tower under it. Five of Wands. Okay. So clearly this is someone who has a lot of ego, but I do feel like it brought up your ego at the same time. Five of Wands is a real battling type energy. And I have to say, like, if I'm expecting someone to change in that energy, I don't feel they do. I don't feel they do. And I have to say also, I feel like if this is someone that I'm expecting an apology from, I don't think I get it. But you know what? I feel like everything is saying, so what? You don't need it. You don't need it. So look at the energy it's moving you out of. The tower is like surrounding the Eight of Swords. It's like free yourself and the rest will follow. Okay. So I'm not feeling good about that, King. Again, it doesn't have to be water sign, but I feel like it's a king who maybe could easily share their love, but with others. We have the Two of Wands. I don't even know what I'm looking at. I'm not really looking at anything. I think we'll just take it right across the middle. Two of Wands makes me feel like, well, okay, somehow I reached you, and now you're saying yes to what potentially you were going to say no to. The Magician again, the Manifester, the King of Wands, Nine of Swords, Page of Cups. How interesting that the Magician again shows right at the Two of Wands, so right when I'm at that crossroad. Again, my mentor shows up, just like I felt like the right people will show up at the right time to help you move along, to bring you to your ultimate, these aces, to what the wheel has next. I don't like that the Nine of Swords is here, but I feel like again, the Nine of Swords is unnecessary worry, but it doesn't give you a clue that if the self-created prison of the Eight of Swords is not uncreated, it moves into the Nine of Swords, which can mean, it can feel like I have depression, anxiety, sleepless nights, worry, worry, worry. But the Nine of Swords is about unnecessary worry. I feel like someone hurt your inner child, and that's hard to recover from. Nonetheless, you can recover. All right. I'm just going to ask if anything else wants to come out. We're going to go right below what we already have also. Boy, Sam's got the heat up high. It's hot in my office. Interesting, we have two pages, Page of Cups and a Page of Wands. Page of Wands to me is like the Fool's energy. This is someone who takes a lot of chances in life. And then the Eight of Wands. Some of you, I feel like this King of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It is sitting by Leo. But other than that, forget the sign. Let's think about this King's action. This is someone who carries a lot of passion in their heart, desire. This is someone who is action oriented. It's interesting because I feel over here with this king, it's almost like everything that came out of their mouth feels like it might have been a lie. This king feels so different. So different. I'm saying king, it can be a queen, don't get me wrong. Um, and we do have the Queen of Wands right here, so, like the counterpart. Again, I know I'm doing Gemini, and I feel like, once you start watching my readings, you learn that, I'll give you the sign, but after that, I kind of forget about the sign and I think about their energy. So I like that the Queen and King are here because they're both action oriented. So it's interesting. So it's almost like you're switching. I do feel like, you have to overcome the pain of the past. Yes. Don't create these prisons. They don't serve you. Don't wear a blindfold. That doesn't serve you. It's like your spirit guides know what's going on in your life. They understand the hurt. Though I do feel a lot of this was on your wheel. Some of it may have been karmic, but this wheel is now talking about moving you out of that difficult energy and moving you into a new adventure. And it does feel adventuresome. And it, to me, feels like it includes this Two of Cups. I mean, how could it not? I couldn't stop it from coming out. Not that I was trying, but it did keep coming out. You have the Ace of Swords with the Eight of Wands over it, fast moving energy. It's also what I think about, I bring about. It's almost like someone's thinking about you. And listen, I don't feel like all the time we have to be like completely healed before we meet someone else. I don't feel that, I feel like there's still broken pieces of us, and I feel like sometimes we can help heal each other, especially soulmate energy. All right, I just want to ask one question. I want to know about these soulmates. This is someone, you know, for the, what's the question? For the long run, I guess, is what I'm asking. Hello, Ace of Cups. All right, we got a lot of cards, but we're going to take them. First of all, the Ace of Cups. To me, right there is the answer. We have temperance, divine timing. The sun again, beautiful. The Eight of Cups, beautiful. I feel like that is you uncreating this prison of the Eight of Swords. This is you looking within your emotional house, finding enough clarity to be able to move out of it. Where's this person moving to? The Nine of Cups, inner harmony. And how beautiful, my question is this soulmate energy? Is this something that, is going to stand the test of time? Boy, does it feel like the answer is yes. Three of Wands, an optimistic view. Judgment, your spiritual team. What are they here for? They're calling you to the present moment. Why? Because there's about to be a rebirth. Please say yes. We have Four of Pentacles. Interesting because ties us right back there. And then, hello, Nine of Pentacles. Very independent type energy. I feel like once you've reached like the Nine of Pentacles, first of all, this speaks about successful self-employment. And that may be the case for some. But I also feel like what it's speaking about is you and your energy. And you like uncreating these prisons and becoming free and then watch what happens. And I do feel like you come across this crossroads, but I feel like you have a mentor right there by your side to help you. Like your guides are really helping you, maybe because these soulmates are really meant to be, and our humanists like our spirit guides are like, okay, how can we help fix this? The Ace of Cups, wow, unconditional love, no doubt about it. And by the way, something knocked the Ten of Wands almost out of the reading, so I'm happy about that. So I feel like this is saying you're becoming much stronger in yourself. Also, I love that the Ace of Pentacles is there. Because that would take you to the Ten of Pentacles, and that is the house of abundance. That's a house that takes roots. That answers my question. Is this for the long run? The answer would be yes. Like this is something that can really take root. However, I do have to love and nurture it at the same time, and vice versa. But I do feel this is a soulmate. Um, and kind of feel like the last person wasn't. I just don't feel like they were your soulmate. Or if they were your soulmate, they were here to teach you some difficult lessons. But learn the lesson. You know what I mean? Like, don't get stuck in that energy of like, I hate to say woe is me because I understand that energy, like being ghosted, and I feel like it's horrible. But that to me is a sign of, is that the type of person, how can that person love me but then ghost me? Or maybe, again, the universe is saying, because you've given too much time to the wrong person. Now, could this be the same person? I'm not going to leave anything off the table, but I have to tell you this. I feel like if that person comes back, their energy has got to have changed, or I don't feel like your spiritual team would want you with them. I feel like the lessons were there. So there's no need to repeat them unless you choose to repeat them. All right. I think I'm going to leave it there, guys. Um, Ace of Cups. My question was, is this a relationship that potentially can last to the end of time? And the Ace of Cups comes out, among other things. The soulmate, I'm telling you. I was hoping it came out, but I had a feeling it was going to come out. Just as many times as I saw it. It's like it did not want to shuffle with the rest of the cards. And to me, everything is a sign. All right. Thank you, Gemini. Let's go ahead and move into Libra. Queen of Cups. Didn't want to come with the rest, so. All right, but let's start with Mother Mary. I always like to give them a little shuffle or two, even though we've already used them, but I don't know. I just like to give them a shuffle or two. All right, Libra. A lot of Libra love in my life. Hey, you got two. Interesting. You have signs. Love it. Sign, sign, everywhere sign. I notice for, I'm sorry, I watch for, notice, and trust the signs that heaven continuously sends. Continuously sends. Now, it doesn't mean we're always going to pick up on it, right? Because again, if I'm in the Eight of Swords, or if I have a blindfold on, it's not impossible for a sign to reach me. But I can certainly overthink that sign. Be like, nah, thought that was a sign, but nah, I don't think so. You know what I mean? But continuously sends. And then tenderness. I am both gentle and powerful. I am both gentle and powerful. And yes, you are. Okay. We are going to use the Tarot of Dreams, Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Again, can have placements in the sign of Libra, or you're just guided, or you may be checking up on a Libra. Okay, wow. 3 swords, 5 of cups, dang it. It's like you're missing someone. 3 of pentacles, the star, card of Aquarius. Some of you may be literally missing an Aquarius, or an Aquarius could have broken your heart. 7 of pentacles, patience. And then the King of Pentacles. You got a lot of pentacles. 3. Not a lot, but I'm really taking noticing of the pentacles for some reason. King of Pentacles can be a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. My nephew is right on the cusp of Virgo and Libra. So that could certainly mean that. However, what's above it? The 5 of cups. Energy of missing someone. Really what the 5 of cups speaks about is where my focus is at. And my focus is on what I have lost. Makes sense because you have a 3 right before it, the 3 of swords. Heartache. Someone broke your heart. But in the 5 of cups, because let's not forget, 5 means change. So what does it want you to change? It wants you to change your focus. It wants you to change your focus. So instead of thinking about all that's gone wrong, start thinking about the potential of what is yet to be. In the Five of Cups, you can't help but notice, like, what sits behind this person. Two cups. Two cups. So someone broke your heart. However, in the same breath, I feel like, again, this doesn't mean life is over. It just means something new is about to open up. So then we move into the Three of Pentacles. And I have to tell you, I do feel like the Three of Pentacles sometimes is the answer to overcome, like, how do I change my focus from, heartache and, loss and that. I feel like if I move into my creative house, because in your creative house, your focus is on what you're creating. Oh, something just jumped up on my screen. I don't like that. Right in the middle of a reading. All right. Anyway, so the Three of Pentacles wants you to think about who you are. It's the energy of your uniqueness and all that you can do with it. It's funny, this person's working with their hands. So some of you can talk about like literally working with your hands. In Three of Pentacles, what I love about there's a lot of things I love about the Three of Pentacles. But I also feel like in the Three of Pentacles, other people are appreciating you. The potential of rewards for what you do. It's not why I do it, whatever that may mean. And for some of you, it may be an old craft, like an old talent that you bring back to the forefront. And who knows what can happen with that energy. I mean, you got the star right next to it, your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. And this is about manifesting them, even after the heartache. And then the Seven of Pentacles, your tree of life. The Seven of Pentacles first lesson is patience. Why do I need patience in the Seven of Pentacles? Because certain seeds are about to come to fruition, but I don't want them to come, I don't want my seed to blossom before it's ready to blossom. Like me standing over and waiting and waiting and waiting is not going to help it blossom any sooner. Nurturing it, yes. Okay, let's keep going. Some of you may be missing this King of Pentacles. All right, well, interesting. These all came face up, but they all came in reverse. So we have Judgment. We have the Knight of Wands. And then we have the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups in reverse. Three Cups is a reason to celebrate. It's being mirrored by the Three of Swords. So, no wonder the Three of Cups is in reverse. I feel like, listen, love may have, drained from certain cups, but that doesn't mean it's drained from all cups. However, Judgment, it's like, no wonder signs came out because it's like you are not paying attention to your spiritual team. Like they are trying to reach you. And it's interesting with the Knight of Wands right next to it. It's like a rush of energy. Don't be surprised if that's how they like trying to reach you, like this rush of energy. Could be like a rush of epiphanies. They're trying to move you, or I'm saying move you, but they're trying to get your attention, and you're not giving them your attention. Sorry, that was my chair. All right, let's keep going. Let's find out why. I feel like the Five of Cups and the Three of Swords is the reason why. Because, again, the Five of Cups is me focusing on what I have lost instead of thinking about what is yet to be. And I get a lot of comments like, well, how do I move out of that, Sandy? I swear, I feel like a creative house is the answer. Um, whatever it may be. Listen, it doesn't even have to be something I do for a living. It could just be like I paint my house or I paint the room that I spend the most time in and I make it beautiful. I change certain things in my life. So it can mean a lot of different things, but it is an energy of recognizing the importance of you, whether someone else did or didn't. We have the Seven of Wands, and then we have the High Priestess, your intuition. So again, signs, signs, everywhere, sign. Well, let's try to get the last card out, and then we'll talk about this. Sign, sign, everywhere, sign. There's that King of Cups again. With the Tower. Alright, we got a couple cards here, so let's take these three together. Hello, soulmates. I swear to God, these readings that I'm doing, and I'm breaking up like, air, earth, water, and fire. But I swear to God, like fire, I did fire before you, and each sign had a soulmate in it. Well, here we go again. Two cups. And then the Six of Wands. So interesting. We have the Tower, right? Again, disruption, destruction. Feels that way anyway. It definitely does mean change. It definitely does move us, whether we're willing to accept it or, well, I feel like we have no choice but to accept it. But sometimes the Tower is working for us. Usually the Tower is working for us. Sometimes we are giving out the Tower, like we're ending something. So again, here's the Tower, but then the soulmates following the Tower. So this is not about the soulmates receiving the Tower. The Tower's already been received. And let's jump back to the Five of Cups, because again, her focus is on what she has lost, but what is right behind her? Two cups. Here they are. So they do manifest. And then the Six of Wands with that. That's the energy of being victorious. All right, let's slide them over here. Definitely want to keep them in the reading though. And let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. Eight of Wands, fast moving energy. What I think about it, bring about. How I'd like you to think about these wands is, let's say four wands are your intention. It's your vibration you're sending out into the universe. The law of attraction is that vibration is what is sent back. So wherever your vibration is, that's what's going to meet you. That's why we need to think about our vibration. The law of attraction. It's real. Five of Cups, focusing on what I have lost. Well, am I not telling the universe, just keep bringing me back that type of energy? But when I say, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to focus on the things that I've lost. I'm going to understand them, but I'm going to move on from them. Again, it carried the energy of the Three of Swords. Why do I want to keep that in my heart? It's taking joy away from your life. Your spiritual team is like, you're not listening to the signs. We are sending you signs. Sign, sign, everywhere sign. And then the High Priestess underneath that, your intuition. Bringing it to life. listening to it again like it is your GPS. It is clearly showing that even after the tower, great love can rise up. Here it is. There it is. There it is. All right. I want to give this a couple good shuffles now. Get everything mixed in. Four of Swords, healing. Beautiful. Healing that broken heart. Listen, maybe not completely, but enough to get you moving out of the energy of, sometimes, again, the Five of Cups can be woe's me. Not that everybody doesn't understand that, but it doesn't serve us to stay in there. You get in the star, your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. It's right there. The Knight of Wands underneath it is like, it's like I'm pulling it back. Why? I know why. All right. We have the Two of Pentacles. We have the Hierophant again. Two fives connected. Can speak about two changes. The Hierophant says, keep your belief system alive. Like, the star is your hopes, your dreams, your wishes, but it's about bringing them into your physical life. And the Hierophant says, question your belief system. Are is your faith still strong? And I'm not even talking religiously. It can mean religious for some or religion for some, but this is really about, I feel like it's speaking about your spiritual team and then your intuition. Like something feels like it robbed you of your faith, so to speak. Like, damn it, I believed in all that, but because my heart was broken, well, that's the end of that. Because again, it seems to rob the joy from your life. And I feel like most of us understand that energy. But still, staying in it just keeps us in it. So Two Pentacles comes over the Three of Swords. Two Pentacles, they call it the Juggler's card. I call it using the logical mind. Is this something? So it tells me something's coming your way. Probably that of a dream, though I may not believe it. Like Sandy, you can say that, but I don't believe it. Okay. Well, believe your spiritual team then. Let them in. Look at that. Power is now in reverse over the Three of Pentacles. I swear to God, that's how you overcome towers. And then the Knight of Wands. Look at that. So the Knight of Wands over the star, the Knight of Wands under the star, but under the star, it's in reverse. Now it's in the upright. Why? Well, because I feel like I am no longer allowing any towers because we have the tower here, but now it's in reverse. I'm not going to allow these towers to rob me of my life, rob me of that potential joy. And listen, I get it that sometimes you can be in such a bad place that you just feel like there's no way out, but I feel like your spiritual team is like, but we're trying to help you. We're trying to send you the signs, the breadcrumbs. Follow the breadcrumbs. Move into your creative avenue, and Libra. Every Libra I know is so creative in different ways. Music is a big thing for you. You know what I mean? Songwriting, um, just whatever it may be. I feel like, like every Libra that's been in my life and that is in my life is so creative. Could it be that simple? Maybe. Because it turned that night around. Now it's allowing this rush of energy to come in. All right. With the Page of Pentacles, we have the Magician in reverse, and then we have the Queen of Wands over Judgment in reverse. So let's talk about this for a second. First of all, the Page of Pentacles, it's about a path of knowledge. It tells me that, like, some of you are here, some of you may have a life path 8, and it may be about your material world. Like, don't apologize for that. You are here to, like, really create this, you know, whatever feels like heaven on earth to you. But those without a life path 8, I feel like this is talking about, I feel like spiritual wisdom, to be honest. Queen of Wands coming over the reversal of Judgment. Well, I like seeing that because I feel like this is a queen, again, who does pay attention, is very intuitive, and then moves according to that. She's a woman of action. She'll sit around, right? Maybe she did. Again, I do feel like this is you. King of Pentacles has a magician on it in reverse, though. Why? Well, we'll come back to that. I want to keep moving. We have the Devil coming over the reversal of the Knight of Swords. So it can be a Capricorn because we do have the King of Pentacles here. But this Capricorn may have been, again, it's that type of energy where, like, maybe I slowed down the energy. I stopped presenting the passion or what have you. Again, the devil can cast illusionary energy, and it's very easy to believe it. But your spiritual team is right here. It's almost like, let us help you fight this spiritual warfare, so to speak. Um, sometimes the devil can make you feel like your dreams, are unreachable. But again, that's not true. It's just not true. Now, I do know for some of you, it's a Capricorn. But I do feel because it's coming over this Knight of Wands, the energy, I feel like ultimately what it's saying is if I start really paying attention to the signs, if I let my intuition come alive, then anything that's trying to come against me, they're going to have to deal with my spirit guides. Right now, I'm trying to deal with it on my own. Look at that, the King of Pentacles again. There's something with this King of Pentacles, it's like, I don't like to give anybody a bad name, but, now he's over the Three of Cups in reverse. It's almost like he's the one who stole your joy. We have the Hermit, Virgo, Capricorn, both. Hmm. It's interesting because this king is attached to the Five of Cups. So I know that you are missing that person. But that Five of Cups is also attached to the Three of Swords. So I know that person must have hurt you in some way. Hurt your heart. Let's put it that way. The Magician in reverse, I don't love that because I feel like this person is a trickster. And that may be why the Seven of Wands is below this king, right? Standing your ground. Like, know the truth. Don't hide things from yourself. Again, the energy of I just feel like someone is almost like working against me. Again, I don't feel like it is this soulmate energy. All right, well, let's keep going. The Hermit speaks about your spirituality and how beautiful it's mirrored by the Hierophant. So, your spirituality and your faith, like, how can you go wrong? We have the Emperor, card of Aries, and then we have the Eight of Pentacles. Some of you may have, I feel like for some of you, this is saying that you have beautiful energy of creating your own, let's just say business, your own thing. And again, where does it come from? It comes from your creative house. Now, remember when I said, like, I feel like that's one of the ways that you can overcome some pain moving into your creative house and it reverses the tower for you? And then the Emperor shows up. Well, to me, the Emperor can certainly be a business owner, a boss. It's definitely someone that people look up to. The Hermit's illuminating the Emperor, so I don't feel bad about the Emperor. Like, I don't feel like there's anything I need to fear. Can certainly represent Aries for some, but I really feel like what it's representing is the type of person this person is. So, first of all, I feel like it's speaking of some of you, like creating like spiritual based businesses. And that can be a million different things. I mean, you can be a doctor, but use your spirituality. And I feel like that's exactly what you should do, actually. You know what I mean? So I like that a lot. And what am I, if I am doing that, like what is the basis of, my business? Well, I feel like it's helping others. The Emperor is the leader of the people. And listen, maybe it's not, maybe I don't become the leader of the people right off the bat, but the Eight of Pentacles right next to it says whatever you focus on is what you're going to grow. Person in the Eight of Pentacles, because they are focusing on that, eventually reaches that Nine of Pentacles, which is success. Interesting. Okay. I want to come back and I want to look at a couple things. I am going to pull the soulmate right into the middle of the reading and look at that. But first, I want to look at, it's interesting because the Two of Pentacles is coming over the Three of Swords. So right off the bat, I feel like something's coming in. So let's kind of, with that question in mind, let's look at the Two of Pentacles over the Three of Swords. Well, hello, Will. So something is destined. Already sits upon your will. Hello. The Fool. Free and clear. I need to take a leap of faith here. That's why the Hierophant is out. That's why the Hermit is out, right? I need to take a leap of faith. I need to trust in my guides. If I fall, they'll catch me. And then what comes out next? High Priestess. Your intuition. Again, here, I feel like it's been shut down. And this is why I feel like a lot of you are in this reading, to receive the signs that you were not receiving. High Priestess. So this is something is coming in, is about to give you a new beginning. And again, it sits upon your will, so it's destined. This is something where your intuition has to answer the yes or no. It doesn't have to. But it would be best, right? Trust within your intuition to make the decision. Who do I think it is? I feel like it's a soulmate. But for some of you, it can be more than that. It can also be opportunity, like opportunity to really create a lifestyle that, down the road, you're going to be like, wow, look at me go. Look at me go. Who would have thought? I would have thought. All right, I want to bring the soulmate, so I'm going to put it right in the middle of the table. And I just want to know a little bit more about that. So I feel like the tower is relating to the Three of Swords. Soulmates does not have to be love. Well, as soon as I said that, look at that, the Knight of Cups comes out. Unexpected couple fulfillment. Unexpected. But don't forget, a knight's going to complete their mission. This knight, in reverse, maybe not. It doesn't negate it, though. It just means it slowed the energy down. Some type of influence is trying to slow down the energy. Now, it can be your own energy. Like again, if I'm stuck in what I have lost and I'm afraid to move out of that energy, or I shouldn't say afraid, but again, what does that person find when they make that change? And that is a 5. It's asking for change. It doesn't want you to be in that energy because it's not serving you. Your will is moving. How interesting, again, the soulmates, and then right before it is the Knight of Cups, unexpected. You can't really plan it, but I can be ready for it. What I want you to think about also, I feel like you got the Eight of Wands somewhere, but right here. What I want you to think about is as it relates to love or really anything in your life, it is like you have the ability to manifest. You are the seed planter. You're planting the seeds right now. If you're telling the universe, I want great love to come in, well, then you've got to be in the energy where you're able to give great love, if that makes sense. Now, I'm not saying that you can't have broken pieces because I feel like we all do. But I do want to match the vibration of what I'd like to see come back towards me. And then beautiful temperance, divine timing, divine timing. Her first lesson is patience. It'll come in, my dear. But can you understand how, whatever this Two of Cups may mean to you, I feel like for the majority it's love. For some of you, it's like you're building your own business and the right people come in at the right time. Some of you, though, I feel like you may be building your business and then you find love at the same time. So Temperance is, she's sitting right next to the Two of Cups, right where she should be, because that's her specialty. She's like sharing the energy between these two cups, bringing them to balance. That's why patience is needed. Then divine timing, unexpected. Some of it is because we need to clear energy. Maybe whoever else is in the soulmates, they also need to clear energy. It's not always about us, right? Sometimes it's about who we're about to meet and where they're at in their lives. But again, this is unexpected. Though in a way, I feel like with temperance sitting right here, you can expect it. You just don't know when you can expect it. But can I help move this? Can I make this sooner versus later? Yes. Because again, your vibration is 9/10 of the law. So if I'm stuck in the energy of woe is me, and I'm sorry to say it that way, then do I not just keep repeating that energy? If I say, you know what, that sucked, that hurt, but I'm not going to let that be the determined factor of what's next in my life. Maybe someone couldn't love me right, but that doesn't mean that someone can't. But you got to know that. Your spiritual team is trying to send you signs. They are sending you the way. They are sending you the breadcrumbs. They are telling you to get ready. There is going to be a rebirth. But again, for some reason, you're not listening. So I feel like this reading I feel like it's for everyone, but really for those who are not listening to their intuition. Like, you can say, well, my guides don't send me messages, but that's not true. They do all the time. We overthink them. It's like, wait a minute, that felt like a sign. And then I overthink it. That's what air, think of air, right? It's about thoughts, about communication, it's about uniqueness. But again, I can easily move into my head. I'm seeing a lot of Virgo energy, and I feel the same thing like with Virgo, like easily move into the head. Instead, this is saying trust. Trust in the universe. Like, understand you're not down here, to only have a shitty life. You're here to grow from those shitty experiences and then understand that there is polar opposites. So if you've had a lot of bad, but then you're willing to make, how do I say this? you're willing to move out of that energy, make the necessary changes. Well, then there's the opposite side, dark, light. Sometimes I'm at the bottom of the wheel, but this is moving you back to the top of the wheel with the Fool's energy. You are the one who has to take a leap. Leap of what? Leap of faith. Trust your intuition. It won't guide you wrong. And then watch what comes into your life, my dear. Watch what comes into your life. Some of you move into your creative house. It's a great outlet to help you overcome. And then again, watch what comes into your life. Some of you, something starts as like, just something to keep my mind busy that ends up being a business. The potentials are endless. The only limitations here are the limitations we put upon it. So, wow, Libra, wow. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. It's interesting because, again, two readings, two soulmates. But I named the fire signs reading Soulmates for All. So then I'm thinking, okay, well, now we got soulmates again. But listen, it's not always about love. I mean, yes, love is important, don't get me wrong. But sometimes, like what you're doing in life, what you're creating can be so satisfying. Aquarius, their turn. Aquarius, sun, moon, or rising, and da 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 da. I'm going to use the Universal Tarot for you. And by the way, I don't know if I said this, I'm using the same decks that I've used in all four of the suits, but I'm changing them up. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not using them in the same order. I'm looking for synchronicities for sure. Okay. Mother Mary, Mother Mary. Okay, Aquarius. 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 Faith. Faith. I have faith in God to heal this situation. I have faith in God to heal this situation. All right. Let's give him a cut. We have the world. I could just feel these cards wanting to come out. The world. The next chapter. The closest energy to God. I have faith in God to heal this situation. This is the closest energy to God. Why do I say that? Because it's the last tarot card. It's a very spiritual time. It's an energy of knowing what you know, even if you don't know how you know it, but you know it. And then we have the Emperor. Some of you are being called into, um, like, I feel like you're being called to use your wisdom. We have the Knight of Wands, came in reverse. And then we have the Nine of Cups, also came in reverse. Inner harmony, not so much. Passion and desire, not so much. Why? This next chapter is going to start no matter what. But I feel like when the world shows you, you're normally ready for it. So it surprises me that we have this energy in reverse. So I need to find out why. Probably has something to do with your faith. If we think of the Emperor again, yes, card of Aries, but leader of the people. This is someone who leads people, but puts plans into action. They're methodical, kind of the opposite of the Empress who really goes by the seat of her pants. If I feel it, I do it. This is someone who would check out the facts first. But still, it is really, some of you, you're not sure that you qualify for that. But I feel like the universe is arguing or saying the opposite. All right. We have the Nine of Wands. Reflection. Could be reflection on the past, the last cycle, let's say. Again, 9 is about final reflection. Reflect, let it go. Reflect, close the door. In the Nine of Wands, this could certainly speak about a period of time where a lot of responsibilities were on your shoulders. But this is about you when it's the Nine of Wands. It's your energy. I feel like in the Nine of Wands, really, what it really speaks about is how you have grown, and really how you have grown spiritually. I feel like this person ultimately becomes a spirit warrior. But it takes a moment to understand that, to realize that, right? To understand that there's still new growth yet to be had. We have the King of Pentacles in reverse under the Emperor. This King of Pentacles, when I think of the King of Pentacles, I think about how he looks at life. And he looks at life from the big picture down. So, it could certainly be that for some of you, this king, this king, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, though it doesn't have to be that, is in reverse. But for others, I feel like it's just the way that I'm looking at life. Like I'm not looking at the big picture. Temperance again. So I feel like temperance has been in everyone's reading. Part of Sagittarius. But again, divine timing, patience. That may be why this knight is in reverse, because temperance does ask for patience. It's almost like it's giving you time for reflection so that you can gain the rewards of that reflection. What's the rewards? Well, in the Nine of Cups, inner harmony. In the Nine of Wands, who I am and what I've overcome and the power of that. Often feel temperance is mixing that perfect recipe together. And it's almost like, like if I'm making brownies, I'm not going to start eating them when they're only halfway cooked. I want to wait till they're done. Though me, I'd eat half the batter before he even made it to the oven. We have, interesting, the Queen of Pentacles that came out like a feather, light as a feather. We have the Queen and the King of Pentacles here. Temperance in between them. King in reverse, the Queen in the upright. Again, two different ways of looking at life. King, see it from the big picture. The Queen, I'm the one who sees the details that other people miss. Hello, Ten of Pentacles. And then the Eight of Cups. All right, I want to slide these up just a hair. So Ten of Pentacles and then the Eight of Cups. Ten of Pentacles, the house. First of all, it is the house of abundance. And it's in the upright. And, it feels like it didn't come easy, and maybe you haven't even reached it yet. But this is the house of abundance. This is a house that takes root. This is where, I feel like, you can feel rich in this energy. Now, it doesn't have to be financially, I just feel like I can, like, I don't want to say I can take care of myself, because this is really talking about, who's ever in this Ten of Pentacles with you. Now, it's interesting the Eight of Cups is next to it. So let's keep going, because for some, I'm wondering, like, did I have to leave that Ten of Pentacles? I feel like for some of you, there may be a father figure who has these expectations of you, and maybe you feel like you can't live up to them. Maybe they feel a little outrageous. I don't know why I'm picking that up, but um, or maybe they want you to do something that they want you to do, where you may have a different dream. I feel like because the Eight of Cups is showing up, follow your dream. Now, I know some people are going to be like, those who are like, well, wait a minute. I wanted my kid to go this way, that way. We have the Queen of Wands in the upright, mirrored over here by the Knight of Wands in reverse. And then we have the Moon card of Pisces, your neighbor to the north, and ruler of Cancer. Page of Cups on the bottom of the deck. It's your inner child's energy. Look at that, the Ten of Cups underneath that. Interesting. Okay, let me readjust myself. And let's go over these. It almost feels like, to me, again, forget the signs. I feel like Temperance is saying there's one person who's ready and there's one person who's not. There's one person who has potentially cleared energy, and there's one person who potentially has not. So I'm wondering if we're talking about a couple. Of course, neither one of you may know about the other. You know what I mean? It may just be like our individual life journeys. All right. Start at the beginning. So we're looking at the world. The Emperor, Knight of Wands in reverse, the Nine of Cups in reverse. Of course, we're reading it as a whole. Two Pentacles, interesting. Same place that it came out for Libra. So it's almost like it's saying, are you going to allow this next chapter to open up? Hmm. Eight of Swords over the Emperor. Four of Wands, look at this, over the Knight of Wands in reverse. And then the Devil, Capricorn. Capricorn has showed up, I feel like, in everyone's reading. You know, first of all, the Emperor. Though I don't feel like the Emperor's a bad person, I'm not feeling that. But I am feeling there's something different here. Because I feel like, I almost feel like I'm going to follow their way or I'm going to go my own way. And I mean that as almost like in a dream. Like I'm thinking back, like, if I was like, like, a late teenager and my father would say, now this is not, has not happened to me, but like my father would say, I prefer you to like take over the business, but you have other dreams. Because this can certainly talk about family money, family business type energy. And you may be in that mode of do I or, but I have other dreams. Hmm. Oh, we already looked at that. The two cups under that, or the ten of cups, and then the two of wands. It's almost like I've lived in the ten of pentacles, and now really what I want is the ten of cups. All right, let's keep going. Four of wands can certainly talk about a marriage, a relationship. Temperance is underneath it. Seven of cups in reverse. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Four of wands in reverse. Interesting. The queen is now in reverse. I feel like be careful not to let anyone talk you into something that you don't really want. I feel like, I feel it's interesting because I feel like this king in some way has influenced the queen. And I don't feel like it in the most positive of ways. With that page of pentacles in reverse over the queen. And by the way, I feel like, you're in here. Again, what sign? It doesn't really matter. It's the energy that you feel. The page of Pentacles could certainly talk about this Queen's younger energy. And again, it's almost like someone trying to talk her out of a dream that she has, out of, chasing a dream or finding this inner harmony within herself. It's almost like someone, right when she's ready to go for it. I don't know. Look at these. All four of these cards are in reverse. My deck is in the upright. All right, well, let's keep going. So I feel like this queen is under an influence right now. We have Justice, card of Libra, card of Balance, but you can certainly talk about divorce or breaking of a commitment. Six of Swords. Six of Pentacles over the Queen of Wands. Okay. I like that the King is now in the upright. Interesting. Three Swords. And the Ace of Swords. I mean, yeah, the Ace of Swords. Interesting. This is what I'm feeling. I'm feeling I'm feeling a couple different things. First of all, I do feel like there's an influence of someone trying to talk someone out of going after a dream. Now that is completely up to you, but I feel like it's almost like the facts that they're giving you aren't true. Um, you know, um, like they're painting a certain picture, but that's their imagination. That's their, what do I want to say? Like that's their energy. Because I feel like the potential of you having a dream come true feels very real to me. Like everything is so close. It's just that like what is pulling me away from it? Well, if I look at the Six of Swords, especially because it's coming over the Eight of Cups and the Three of Swords is down here, I do feel like that I must have looked at what is toxic to me. That's really what the Six of Swords talks about. And what's mirroring it? The Eight of Swords. That self-created prison again. Some of you, I feel like it can talk about a divorce, a separation, cutting of ties, but I feel like it for some it may be the reversal of that. However, this sounds confusing, I know that. But in the Six of Swords, there is something toxic to me, and it rests within my emotional house. That's why I can't find this inner harmony. So I have to deal with whatever is toxic. I don't want to again create a prison. That's not going to serve me. That's not going to save me. And I feel like in the Eight of Swords, if I'm waiting for someone to come in and save the day, I am my own savior. And I've got to know that. In the Six of Swords, I know that. So it does speak about leaving toxic energy, but toxic energy can mean a million different things. It can just mean that someone doesn't have the same goals that you have. But then look what opens up. The Ace of Swords. Interesting. Two sixes back to back. This King of Pentacles seems to have a big influence here. And, I just want to say, I feel like someone may also be having a conversation who's in a committed relationship or as committed as it is right this moment, maybe having a conversation saying, I'm not going to keep staying in this relationship if it, I must feel like if it's got to be your way or the highway, then I'm going to choose the highway. And the reason why I'm going to choose the highway is because this is supposed to be equal, you and I. You're supposed to build me up, not break me down. And if you're going to continue to do that, then you leave me no choice but to go. And I do feel like someone's going to respond to that. Now, I know it can't be everyone, but I do feel like there's someone who's going to respond to that. And I do feel like they don't want you to go. Even though the King or the Queen of Pentacles is reversed here, she's over temperance. But now we have the Queen and the King in the upright together. So it tells me that these two people, again, I know it's Pentacles and you're air, but I feel like what it's talking about is, how we look at the world. And they look at the world in different ways. Neither is right, neither is wrong. I shouldn't say it that way. Neither is wrong. It's just that's who we are. So again, I feel like someone, almost like I'm saying to someone, if Like I have a dream. And if my dream can't come true here, then I'm going to go find it. So I feel like you're being very bold, and I like that. Some may let you go. But listen, if they let you go, then maybe that's exactly what was meant to happen. And some will come to the realization. Not everyone, but some will. Okay, what do I want to look at? Man, um, you got a mixture of some hard cards, but also some great cards. You got a mixture of upright and some in reverse. I want to look at this Four of Wands, which is the marriage card or the commitment card. It looks like the passion has died out from it. It looks like it hasn't been an equal give and take type of relationship. Now, it doesn't mean it can't change because, again, I feel like a conversation, especially with the Eight of Swords here mirroring it, a conversation may be exactly what is needed. Now, that may not solve everyone's problem. So let's look. All right, so I'm looking at this Queen, or the Four of Wands, I'm sorry. We have the King of Swords in reverse. Just want to make sure my cards are in upright. Interesting how many reversals you got. So, King of Swords can be you. Um, can be another Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. I mean, I definitely feel when I do readings like this, where I'm doing like more than one sign together, I definitely feel like they're speaking to each other. All right, we have the Ten of Wands. Then we have the Knight of Pentacles. Beautiful. I simply feel like I'm saying to someone, I am just tired of carrying the weight. And you're either going to be in this with me or you're not. Because what follows that energy is the Knight of Pentacles. It's your guardian angel. It's a promise of something coming into your physical world that will expand it. The Knight of Pentacles is another lesson in patience. Um, but the Knight of Pentacles says, I will come in at the right time. And maybe the right time is that conversation for some of you. Don't create barriers, just speak the truth. Do it with loving words as much as you can, but speak your truth. Because I feel like that could literally save a relationship. And if I don't speak my truth, I feel like, am I not doomed to stay in that Eight of Swords energy? Some of you, it's like, again, you're leaving no matter what. And it may not even be in that Four of Wands. It may be, again, like a father figure. I don't know, a boss who says you can't. And you're like, well, watch me. Okay. But I love the Knight of Pentacles is here because, again, that's your guardian angel. It means that something's coming into your physical world and it is changing that physical world. That's probably why we're opening up with the World card. All right, I want to come down. Well, first of all, I want to look at this Queen and King because they're up, they're down, right? But then they're both back up again. So tell me more about this King and Queen. Okay, it's a lot of cards, but we're going to take them. But I feel like this is probably going to talk about the whole reading, so let's look at it. Queen of Cups. The Fool. Hello, Two of Cups. So, every single reading, if you go back to my January readings, I did predict And this is not to like, pat myself on the back. This is just saying that I had this overwhelming feeling that a lot of soulmates were going to connect this year. Well, this year is coming to a close. So that's probably why everyone's getting soulmates. And the Fool is right behind the soulmate. Seven of Pentacles, your Tree of Life, the Hangman, and then the Four of Cups. Okay. This is what I feel here. First of all, we have to recognize the Four Cups. Again, discontentment, boredom in my own life, boredom within a relationship, could be a job, whatever it may be. Knight of Pentacles says, I'm bringing a pentacle in. This pentacle is going to expand your world if you accept it. I come at the right time. Sometimes I feel like the Knight of Pentacles comes exactly the right time. Almost like, oh my God, thank God you came in. So what is it moving you from? A couple different things. First of all, those who are discontent within their own life. Some of you, it's within a relationship. You know what I mean? But some of you, I feel like you are, and I know, like people hate it when I talk like this because I'm reading for a lot of people. So there's different situations for different people. You just gotta use your intuition and trust that to know where you're at in this reading. But I'm saying that because, first of all, I feel like this Queen and King, they're up, they're down, they're up, they're down, but now they're up. And now the Knight of Pentacles comes out. So I do feel like for this Queen and King, I do feel like they're going to give it another shot. And I do feel like they have a real conversation. And listen, if you're someone who has a conversation with someone you're interested in and they're not participating in that conversation, then, like, know when you're being answered. You know what I mean? Like, listen, if you can't even have a conversation with me, then how do you expect me to give you my love? Like, why would I give you my love when you can't even have a conversation with me? You know, like simply our answers are in front of us. So we have the Fool before the Two of Cups. So some of you, this is someone who's new. Yet at the same time, I feel like part of your Tree of Life, Knight of Pentacles right above it, like coming in at just the right time. Um, we have the Chariot. So I just wanted to take a couple more cards. Chariot, first of all, it's a card of Cancer. We're in the year of the Chariot. So interesting, I just said that this year I predicted a lot of soulmates were going to get together. And listen, you don't believe it until it happens. I get it. Like, until it happens, you don't believe it. Just the way it is, right? Like, very seldom do we get to plan love out. Like, someone comes in, and that's that. Chariot talks about unlimited potential. It is the energy of the feminine and the masculine coming to balance. Some of you could certainly talk about a twin flame. I don't even know why I'm bringing that up, but I feel like for a few, it may talk about that because this is really the balance of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And they really can't come together until they have this balance. Or let's put it a different way, they can come together, but you know, it's a rough ride. So because we're each other's mirrors, remember that. Soulmates also, like we are each other's mirrors. Look at these soulmates, they're looking eye to eye, eye to eye. Beautiful. And then last but not least, Judgment. Spiritual team blowing the trumpet, calling you to the present moment. This is where your signs are at in the present. Knight of Pentacles, same thing, right? Don't look to the past for your signs. Don't look to the future for your signs. Present day energy. I need you in that present day energy. Why? Well, Judgment talks about a rebirth. It's coming under the Fool and the Two of Cups. And what I feel is your tree of life. And then unlimited potential. Now, that doesn't mean it'll go to an unlimited place. That's our humanness, right? But I feel like the more communication we have, the more open and honest we are, um, the more that we be ourselves right from the get-go, I feel like the better chances we have at really creating not only a house of abundance, but a house of love. Let's not forget the Ten of Cups is right there, right? It's right there. And the Page of Cups coming over that, it's like that inner child energy. And when I say inner child, yes, you're healing that inner child. You're giving your inner child attention. But the inner child is also very, unencumbered and free. And, when I think of my inner child, I always, what comes to my mind is I remember the days, I don't know how old I was, maybe 10, where I would, get on my bike and just ride. And it gave me a sense of freedom. Like I remember it so clearly. I remember we lived in a college town, and I remember I was riding my bike through the college, and there was this concert, and it was singing "Let It Be" by the Beatles. They were singing "Let It Be" by the Beatles, and I'd never heard that song before, and it just stopped me in my tracks. I don't even know why I'm telling you this story other than I don't know. I don't know why I'm telling you this story, but somebody relates to it. That's all I can say because I don't feel like I tell my own personal stories or my guides have me tell my stories unless there's a reason. So, Aquarius, I think I'm going to leave it there. Um, I feel like there's quite a few different things happening here. And I do feel like you, of all the readings, are really going to have to pay attention to your intuition to know where you are in this reading. The Fool comes before the Two of Cups, free and clear. Doesn't always mean that I'm free and clear from a relationship, but I'm free and clear of the love of it. You know what I mean? Like I'm no longer in love with someone. Though in a way I feel like you must be pretty clear of it because Judgment, I just feel like your spiritual team wouldn't come out and be like, if you're in the midst of a marriage, be like, leave that person. That's your decision, right? Those are free will decisions. But once you make decisions, then your spiritual team is behind you. It's like they recalculate, when you decide what path you're going to choose. Don't forget the world is the very first energy, the next chapter. It is being mirrored by the Ten of Pentacles. So ultimately, for some of you, it's a house of abundance. Some of you are leaving that house, and some of you are finding that house. And I'm going to stop talking because I feel like I'm getting more confusing. It's not confusing to me, but I feel like I'm probably confusing you more and more. But your guardian angel is here, and there's soulmate energy here. I mean, and listen, soulmates can take a lot. And I'm saying that because I feel if you're the queen and king over here where you've been reversed and then up and then reversed, can you overcome that? I do feel like this is the energy where you can overcome that, but that's if you want to. And I do feel like they're a soulmate. But that doesn't mean that every soulmate we're meant to live the rest of our lives with. What feels right to you? What feels right to you? What feels right to your inner child? All right, I'm going to let that be. Wow. It's funny, my goal when I started these readings was to make them like each one like 10 minutes. Well, That didn't happen right off the bat. Like each one is at least 30 minutes. But, I feel like that's what they need. That's what they need. Um, but I want to thank you guys. I want to thank everybody. I know I probably just have Aquarius left, not just Aquarius. Um, but I thank you guys. I thank you for watching these videos. You know, I feel like each of these videos means something different. This definitely feels like it's from your spiritual team. I don't know why I'm saying feels like it's from your spiritual team. It is from your spiritual team. Um, be strong, health, signs, tenderness, and faith. We put all that together. That's what Mother Mary is saying. So, anyways, I'm gonna stop talking now. I love you guys. Thank you. I may be gone for like a week because I do have some personal readings I need to catch up on. Um, but I needed to finish this series at the same time. So definitely check out each other's signs also because, I don't know. I just feel like you're all connected. We're all connected. Anyways, I'm gonna stop talking. I love you. I'll see you next time at our table. Bye bye.